What's up, everybody? Welcome to the late afternoon show. This is your boy, Tim. We're going to let that beat drop like we always do. Vibrations, baby. We are on another episode of the late afternoon show. If you are here with us, let us know in the chat. You have to type in where you are joining us from. So if you are in Memphis, if you're in Atlanta, if you are in Pittsburgh, if you're international and it's like midnight where you're at, let us know. And it looks a little laggy on my end. Type in the chat if my video is coming through okay and if my sound is coming through okay. Hey. Hey. I'm super excited. We got a champion in the house today. You are tracking the late afternoon show from our early days to our days when we're really getting there. I mean, we got some killer talent that is coming through, and we're super excited to have Jordan Norwood in the house today. We're about to get those good vibes with Jordan, man. Hey. Let us know. What is up, Memphis? What is up, Megan? You can tell I'm a little dressed down today. If you guys don't know, California, it's raining, it's gray. I try to put on a suit and it just got spots all over it. So today's just chilling. But we got Jordan in the house. He's already on here with us, and we're about to go live. We're gonna wait for some more people to join us in the party. What's up, Megan? It's good to see you. Hey. Bouncing it back and forth. So anybody that's into sports, if you have friends that are sports heads, they like football, they like soccer, they like any type of sports, today's the day you want to be on. So shoot them a message, shoot them a share, let them know that Tim is live and he has Jordan Norwood on the line. And so they do not want to miss the lessons from today. So we're about to get started here in a few minutes. Give some folks some time to hop on to the late afternoon show. Let's go. I've got to make you mine. I promise you guys, I am going to get a new camera. My niece was making fun of me looking like standard definition out here. So I'm going to get a new camera. Don't worry, guys. It's coming up. Hey, here we go. Guys, I am super excited. We are here with the late afternoon show. I forgot what episode we're on. We were tracking the first episode. I think we're on like 6 or 7 or something like that, coming down to the middle and the end of March. I think we have two more episodes in this season of the late afternoon show. If you missed any of the shows and you want to go back and watch them, you guys can just go to mrmeaningfulwork.com /content. And you guys will be able to see all the shows. We've put all the shows on there from this season, from last season. So if you want to watch Tim Salau, if you want to watch Kate Bradley Chernus, if you want to watch Mark Metry, if you want to watch any of these guys, just go to mrmeaningfulwork.com /content and you'll be able to find that. But we have a super exciting show today. I'm excited. I talked to Jordan last year before LinkedIn gave me live. Before they gave me live, I was out here doing my thing on Instagram, and he was gracious enough to hop on there and chat with me. So we want to jump right into the conversation with the champion, man. We want to jump right in. So I'm going to put this music back on because we got to have some theme music for our man that's coming through. We got Jordan Norwood, who is visiting the late afternoon show for the first time. Second time with me, but first time for the late afternoon show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the stage Mr. Jordan. I want you guys to clap your hand emojis, smash those like buttons. We've got Jordan in the house. Hey! Boogie, woogie. Hey. Yo, we keep calling it the late afternoon show, but every time I talk to some folks on the East Coast, it looks like nighttime. Now it's looking like a late night show. What time is it over where you're at, man? Oh, man, let's get you off of... Oh, we had you on mute there for a second. There we go.
My bad. Yeah, it's we're getting to 6 p.m. here. I'm in the basement though, hiding from my kids. So
you're in the basement hiding from the kids. I am in the shed hiding from the kids. I guess nobody ever told us that parenthood is just hiding from your kids. Right? That is all it is. I know Megan knows what I'm talking about. I know she has an 11-year-old and she's probably not hiding from him right now, but that is what it is. How are you feeling, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, brother. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be chatting with you.
That's what's up. Yeah, Megan, we fixed the audio. We're just we're getting everything settled. Jordan Norwood is here with us. For folks who don't know, I used to be in Denver, and I have lived a lot of different places. And when folks tell me, like, you know, where is home? Like, where is a place that you call home? Denver was probably the place that I lived at the longest. And it was my absolute favorite place to live. I love the mountains. I love the air. I love the people. And it just so happened that they were Super Bowl winners as well. So I don't know if it was just me being in Denver that brought them that luck. But something about Denver is just eclectic. What are some of the things that you like about Denver, Jordan?
Yeah, you know, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said the air. There's just something when you get off the plane, flying back into Denver International Airport, and you just get off and you just take that deep breath.
Yeah.
And there's some crisp air out here.
It's crisp. It's like drinking mountain water. Right. Like it's a different type, especially coming from like LA or Atlanta, where it's like super smoggy and thick out there, and you come out, you get that crisp mountain air.
Yeah.
You being in football, I mean, did folks have a hard time coming and breathing that thin, mile-high air? Was that a problem?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was tough for opponents to come in and play, and it also made it a lot easier when we went down to sea level and play. It felt like we could run forever.
Yeah, that's what's up. So Jordan, talk to us a little bit about your journey. For folks that don't know, Jordan has had an incredible athletic journey in sports and in some of the things that he's doing now. So if you were on the Instagram, thin air gives you a high for sure. Yep. And if you're on our Instagram journey, you may have heard it. But for those that have not heard it, Jordan, tell us a little bit about where you started off and how that led you to that big ring.
Yeah, man, I'll try to keep it under 2 hours here. But
we appreciate you.
Right. No, but I mean, I've been playing football my whole life. I mean, my dad's a college football coach, so I grew up around the game, bounced around different colleges with my dad, and just connected to the game at a young age. So it's always been in the family. And for me, I went to Penn State University. Played all 4 years of football there, played a year of basketball too, actually. But when it was time to come out of college into the NFL, I was anticipating getting drafted, and I didn't. I went undrafted. I signed as a free agent with the Cleveland Browns. I ended up getting cut there my first year during training camp, and then signed to the practice squad with the Eagles and did my rookie year with the Eagles on the practice squad. And got cut in Philadelphia the next year and got signed back to Cleveland and played a couple years there before I got put on IR for getting injured, and then got cut the next year. So I'm basically, that's the gist of my story, is getting cut getting cut and getting re-signed by another team. So
Yeah.
Finally in 2014, I ended up out here in Denver. And I was playing pretty well, looking like I was going to make the team that year in 2014, then ended up tearing my ACL and being out for the year there in 2014. And fortunately, I was able to get healthy there, go through the rehab process and come back in 2015 and actually start as a third wide receiver for the team for the Broncos that year in 2015, and end up going to the Super Bowl that year. And wasn't even the starting punt returner, but ended up returning a punt for a sole record in the game. Really it's a whirlwind of ups and downs throughout my career, and probably a little microcosm of life for me too. But just ups and downs, and celebrating and all that.
Dude, so we've all saw you see the Super Bowl win, you see the joy, you see the this last one, you got folks like literally tossing the trophy from car to car. Does that change your life? Like when you achieve that, like when you get to a championship, you've been working your whole life, your whole career, trying to get to this championship, trying to get to this win. Does that actually change your life? Like what happens when you win a championship like that? Oh, we can't hear you again, brother. There we go. Oh, not yet. Maybe it's. We got it? I'm going to try this. I'm going to put this and then add you back in. No.
Testing.
Yeah, there we go.
You can hear me?
Yeah, perfect. All
right. Maybe it was my headphones.
So what does that feel like? What happens after that, man?
Yeah. I would say that things definitely, change a little bit. Even as a high schooler, we went to the state championship in basketball my junior year of high school, and won the state championship there in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And that changed some things. That was my high school's first state championship in basketball, and so I can go back to my high school there in Pennsylvania and interact with people in a certain way because I was on that 2000 high school state championship team. Mm-hmm. So there's something cool that happens in sports that success in sports gives you opportunities to interact with people that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise interacted with. And I think that's part of the reason why I stayed here in Denver. Maybe is because
you've got a good reputation.
Yeah, if I go to Applebee's and I want a free appetizer, I'm gonna wear my Super Bowl robe.
The perks, man. That is not a negative. And so after you had that win, I know there's folks that pursue that. It's like, okay, championship, the next one. I think Tom Brady says, the question is like, which one's your favorite ring? He says the next one. And so about that pursuit, did that change for you? Where it's like, I don't want to pursue these, football as a championship anymore, or as an ultimate goal. I want to transition. Like, where did that change happen for you?
I think for me, football is interesting also because it's obviously one of the biggest team sports. You got 22 guys on the field at a time, and I'm 5'10", 170 pounds playing right next to a guy that's 6'7", 300 pounds. We're playing the same sport on the field at the same time. So I think it's a little unique as far as the pursuit of championships. And there's a lot of moving pieces. So there's a lot that needs to happen for you to win a championship. And I say that to say that I was probably on my way out of the NFL, probably there the year we won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Just physically, the mental demands.
Yeah.
I had a growing family myself.
Yeah.
We already had one, and we had we were working on another one. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, I was kind of mentally on my way out the door as far as playing in the NFL goes, and having the bandwidth to really seek that next championship and be a part of a team and
Yeah.
be able to have somebody look next to me and them count on me.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't about to let anybody count on me in that situation anymore. I was past it. So.
Yeah. So it's like you had endured, you'd come back and keep coming back, and then you had won, like you had triumphed, you had got to that level, but it seems like you also knew your limits. You knew your physical limits, you knew your mental limits, your family, and knew that was a time to change, which I think is an important point, because some folks aren't self-aware, right? They don't know what their limits are. They don't know when to stop, when to pivot, and move into something else. So Megan actually segues into my next question, which is, so you've moved on from football. So what was the next thing? What happened after that? What are you doing now?
Yeah, so I think part of my my transition out of football and what made it a little easier is that God really showed me some things that I was passionate about outside of football. And so there, my last 2 years here in Denver, my wife bought me a camera, and I started picking up photography. Okay. And so I was the guy, you probably see pictures every once in a while on away games of all the guys like in their nice suits, all, showing people up, in front of the plane.
Yeah. That was you?
No, see, I was the guy that I always brought my camera.
Yeah.
And so guys would be like, "Hey, Jay Wood, can you come take a picture of me real quick?"
Yeah.
So anyways, I was kind of transitioning there while I was still playing.
Yeah.
I got into photography there since I retired in 2016. My wife and I shoot photo and video. I'm an entrepreneur and started a few businesses that kind of branch off of some things I was into in the NFL.
Yeah.
With a holistic wellness company. And then my wife and I do some real estate here in Denver also.
Nice. So you were able to make that pivot. And we talk about pivoting a lot of it on this show, as it relates to meaningful work and how folks need to, oftentimes you need to change, but how do you determine where to change and like what to change into? We had an event last week celebrating 1 year of meaningful work, and one of the conversations on pivoting was, when you pivot, like a company, like when a company pivots, the things that they think about is this new area sustainable long term, right? Like this is something that's going to be the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years or so, or is it something that we can diversify? Maybe it's a new product or a new category, or something that we're able to expand ourselves. So it seems like for you, when you looked at, football and, some of the other things that you were passionate about, that your family was passionate about, that you were already getting interest and traction on, it was easier to make that pivot because from a longevity standpoint and from a passion standpoint, that would outlive what you'd be able to do in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, along with that, I think that in terms of pivoting, and even if you're pivoting within your own career or own industry, if you're sticking with the same industry, just pivoting, there's a piece of humility that comes with it. You need to be humble enough to know that what you're doing might not have the longevity, or there might be a better way to do it. And I think that the other piece that I really jumped into with photography was the humility in educating yourself. So, obviously I was just picking up a camera, so I had to take classes and watch YouTube all day long and read books and all that and figure out how to do it. So I think if you're continuing your education and continuing to learn, even if it's within your own industry,
Yeah.
I think it'll be easier then to know when you ought to pivot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just stuck in your ways and not really listening to any of the new that's going on,
Yeah.
then yeah, you're probably not going to be ready to pivot.
Yeah, you got to be able to learn. I think that learning piece is crucial. And so I want to actually transition into something, Jordan. So we normally have like a game or a little segue or something different that we do on the show. And I literally just thought about this right now. I was going to go in another direction, but now that I'm thinking about it, I want you, if you can, I am new to the iPhone. All right. And I've always heard that the iPhone is like this great and wondrous photography studio that, it's just the best photography hack. So for any of our viewers that are on here, and for me especially, are there any tips and tricks, any hacks that you can give us from an iPhone photography perspective that we can fake it as a professional photographer? I think you're on mute, bro.
Yeah, I think as far as photography goes, whether it's a camera or an iPhone or a Polaroid, I mean, I think there's two things that I really enjoy including in my photos, and that's just framing, whether it's kind of geometrical framing, symmetry, things like that. Always look nice in photos. I mean,
framing meaning like where you put the subject, like in the box.
Where you put the subject in the box, where you put the foreground as opposed to the background. If there's straight lines in the picture somewhere, whether it's a fence or at the top of a building, making sure those are perfectly straight. Things like that go a long way. So I would say geometry and shadows. If you can get some dramatic shadows in pictures, just look for shadows. And
look for shadows, like your own shadow, or just like even the structures or anything like that.
Structures, probably not your own shadow, though that could be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, shadows and geometry there.
So if I'm in this picture right here, so we got these lines in the back. Is there any, like, if you were to take a picture of me in this studio with these lines in the back, what would be the first thing that you would look at?
For me, I would probably put your back directly on one of those walls.
Oh, so actually like lean up against the wall?
Well, not on it, but square with it. So you're
okay.
Parallel with the wall. And,
okay.
And so the lines are going straight up behind you.
Okay.
And probably just off center you a little bit, and boom.
So you wouldn't be directly in the middle, off a little bit, flush to the back, so the lines are like right behind, and then anything by way of lighting?
So for people, you usually want soft light on their faces, or if they're out in the sun, you would want the sun behind them rather than in front of them.
Oh, you want the sun behind them?
Yeah, and you want that because you don't want. So let's see, I have a light right here, and if I put my brim down just a little bit, now I have a huge shadow over my eye.
Yeah.
And if I'm too far, let's see, this way,
yeah,
a shadow right here under my nose doesn't really look that cool. You just get funky shadows.
Yeah.
If you're directly in the light. So there's a difference between shooting a building and shooting an individual. Just because shadows on people's faces, like under their nose, you'll get a shadow if the sun's right above you.
Oh, that's true. Or under your eyes and stuff. Right. Man, I bought my wife a camera because we were going to start taking more pictures of our kids. And as soon as I opened that thing up and I saw all the buttons, I just lost. It's like, okay, I don't know, like ISD and like the flash rate, the exposure rate. I was just like, okay, this is too much. I just want to point and shoot and get some crisp pictures that we can blow up.
Put that thing on auto, man.
That's it. Exactly. Megan is asking, do you have a favorite artist or portrait photographer, somebody that you get inspiration from or look up to?
Man, lately I've been into just shooting headshots and trying to get into more commercial work. There's a guy named Sham that I follow on Instagram. I don't even know what his last name is, but
first name basis.
Right. But he's incredible.
Yeah.
Peter Finley is an awesome headshot photographer that I keep up with on social media also.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for those pointers. Thank you for those pointers. So I want to transition into the idea of meaningful work. First of all, if you can tell us what is something that you're doing right now that you are super excited about? What's an activity, a project that you are doing right now that you're super excited about?
Well, I've been on the board of a nonprofit here in Denver for about a year and a half now. It's called the Denver Dream Center, and it's an organization that I've been working with for the past 5-6 years, volunteering with, and just interacting with through their programs. But yeah, I'm super excited for them as an organization. They're raising some big money this year to purchase a campus here in Denver, which will basically, what they do is they find needs in the city and meet them, whether that's homelessness, mental illness, whether that's poverty, low-income neighborhoods. They'd work a lot with reentry guys that are coming out of guys and girls that are coming out of prison, and transitioning them back into the workforce in a healthy way and sticking with them, throughout that. And I'm just excited for where they're going, where we're going, because I'm a part of the team there. Where we're going this year in 2021. There's been a huge uptick here in Denver, definitely, but I'm sure in most major cities there's been uptick in gang violence and homelessness, in mental illness cases, and along with that, there's police reform going on in almost every single city. So figuring out what that looks like, and just knowing that the Denver Dream Center has so many resources that can fit that kind of need, especially for the people who are calling for different things with the police force, and when there's mental health issues, places like the Dream Center can be the call that's made to intervene. So I mean, there's a lot there. I mean,
and that guy, I know when I was out there, Pastor B. I mean, probably one of the most we talk about like the ministry of Jesus, and you talk about like going out in the highways and byways. Like, there are very few leaders like Pastor B, who is out there like pulling people. I mean, going out, pulling them out of their house, giving them food, employing them, connecting them with their kids, connecting them with job opportunities, involving them in the program, and really, and then a little bit of preaching. Like there's like just a sprinkling of preaching, but they really connect with love and community in a very, very practical way. And I know they have they're tied in with the mayor, obviously with sports folks like you guys. So that's what's up. That is some impactful work. How would you define meaningful work, and how would you apply it to some of the stuff that you're doing?
I would define meaningful work by the fruit of your labor, the fruit of your impact. So if what you have going on isn't producing any good fruit, or is maybe in turn it's sending people down the wrong road, I would take a look at what you're doing. I mean, what are people doing that are affected by your words and actions? And so I think that meaningful work is work that's causing people to be inspired, that's causing people to have hope when they're hopeless. And I mean, really, I think it's shown through loving on people, whether that's going to a park like we do with the Denver Dream Center and picking up a football and tossing it around for 30 minutes. With a kid that might not have anybody to throw that football with on a regular basis.
True.
Or what have you. So I think that meaningful work comes with impacting other people's lives for the better.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And Jordan, how can people support what you're doing? So I mean, you're doing photography. It sounds like you also have is it just called Magic or Magic Wellness, or what's the product that you guys do that folks can tap into?
Yeah, I think a great place, I mean, to support what I have going on is the easy follow on Instagram. My Instagram is Jordan Norwood, Jordan Norwood, except there's only one N in the middle there.
Yeah.
So Jordan Norwood, that Magic Wellness is a holistic wellness company that I started about a year and a half ago. And Magic is spelled with a J, Magic with a J, Magic Wellness. That's the Instagram handle. And Magic is an acronym actually for Muscle and Joint Inflammation Cream, which is
I did not know that until right now.
Yeah. So that's the kind of the flagship product for us is a topical ointment that I was using after I tore my ACL in 2014. My chiropractor put me on this hemp balm, basically, and I kind of fell in love with it. That's Magic Wellness. My personal Instagram, Norwood.photo, FOTO on the photo. I just realized that I spell everything just a little bit off.
So you always got to give that little explanation.
Right. Yeah, it's just a little explanation, but so it's Norwood.photo, FOTO.
Nice.
Yeah.
We can check some of those products out, so we see the pictures. We can see, and I think on your Instagram, you have some of the work that you're doing at the Denver Dream Center on there as well, and obviously the Magic Wellness company there. So, guys, we are super excited. I mean, Jordan spent some time with us. I know he has to hop out, but he has been a champion in the traditional sense by way of beasting through adversities and being able to get that prize in sports. But we can see that he continues to be a champion in his family and how he switched his focus and priority from the game to some of his passions and to raising that family and being a champion for the community through the Denver Dream Center and the work that they're doing to impact lives in a practical way and in wellness, right? So bringing relief and help to different folks. And like he said, meaningful work is the fruit, right? The impact, the value that you are putting in people's lives and making sure that that the results are positive, that they're not moving in the opposite or negative direction in that. So with that, guys, we appreciate you. Megan, thank you so much for putting all the content in the chat for folks that want to check it out. So we got the Denver Dream Center, we got the photo, we got his Instagram, all of that stuff in there. We'll do a quick recap of today's show tomorrow. You guys can connect with Jordan on there. But we are about to sign out for today. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week for another edition of the Late Afternoon Show. Love, peace, and chicken grease, guys. See you later. Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.